Hey everybody, what's up? Not the market, that's for sure. It is Thursday, April 3rd. Today was actually a good day. Not good in the sense of what happened in the market, but I think it was a good day because it was a teaching exercise. It was eye-opening. It was a day to be educated. Let's put it that way. If you've been watching me for any length of time, you probably heard me say in the past that a bad belief system is like a disease in the body. And if you don't eradicate the disease, eventually it kills the body. And everything that we're seeing going on right now, from the tariffs and even beyond the tariffs to all this, debt phobia, that all stems from this kind of mental illness, a pathology about money and a backward or a wrong way of understanding it. It stems from the advent of monetarism, which came about in the 1970s. And it is infecting not just the economics profession, it's affecting policy, it's affecting society, it's affecting the way people see government, see society, see the role of government, see the role of business, etc. And it's a poisonous, it's a destructive belief system. Now, I saw a video clip today, some guy posted up, I think it was on Instagram or something like that. Some young guy, he must have been in his 30s or something like that. And he had a video clip of Trump. I think Trump was, and by the way, let me just come out with this right away because I know you guys are going to come after me. I voted for Trump. I'm rooting for Trump. I want him to succeed. It's just very, very frustrating to see these kinds of policies because they come from a total backward or very, very limited understanding of economics, but I'll get into that. So anyway, Trump was talking to these reporters, I think on the lawn of the White House, he was going somewhere, and he was talking about, they asked him about the market's crashing, President, the market's crashing. He said, we got to do this because China's ripping us off. These countries are ripping us off. He said China made $500 billion in the last few years. And as this video was playing, the kid who posted, or the guy who posted the clip on Instagram, he stopped it for a second, the Trump thing, and he was like, yeah, this is great. What's so bad about this? We have to make the dollars to pay the debt. Isn't that great? That's a great thing. Now, I'm not even going to get into talking about the debt, which is non-existent. Okay, I've done millions of videos on that. I want to just focus on this pathological, this pathological focus on money. Money, which is basically an accounting unit that is created with the keystroke of a computer. And Trump saying that we need to make the $500 billion, dollars which the United States government is the sovereign issuer of this currency, which again is just an accounting unit and a keystroke on a computer. It always comes back to a money understanding, a money transaction, which is the primary thing that everybody focuses on, which has really very little meaning whatsoever and leads to policies like you see what's happening right now with the crash of the stock market, putting up impediments to trade, limiting abundance. How many times have I said, your eyes wouldn't deceive you if you went to a poor country? If you went to a poor country, you wouldn't have to go to the central bank of that country or the treasury department of that country and ask to see its books. you would just look around and you would see dirt roads. You would see lack of fresh water, maybe no sanitary systems, maybe just a complete lack of consumer goods, sparse food availability, a despoiled environment. Your eyes would not deceive you. You would know immediately that that was a poor country. How? Because it lacked the real resources that we as human beings need to exist at a high level, a high standard of living. So like when Trump says we're getting ripped off in a monetary sense, he totally leaves out the other side of the picture, which is the abundance that we acquire as humans. Okay, you got these countries like China and Vietnam and all these other countries where, they suppress the wages of their workers who are working basically in sweatshops. They devalue their currency, which is functionally like lowering the standard of living of their people. Okay, they despoil their environment. They use up their resources to create high quality consumer goods that they send to us in exchange for an accounting entry, a keystroke on a computer that we transmit to them electronically, and we have the abundance. And now, and again, I'm not fully going to blame Trump because he has advisors who say we need to do this. We're saying, no, we don't want those things. We want the money, which we have the ability. Look, it would be a different story. Let's say the United States had its liabilities denominated in some other currency. Okay, let's say it was in, I don't know, yen or Chinese yuan or euro or Canadian dollars or British pound. Then we would maybe have no choice then other than to do this, because we would have to acquire those currencies in order to satisfy our financial liabilities. Okay? That would be a different setup. We don't have that setup. Now, maybe there are some things that it makes sense to produce here in the United States. I could go along with that. I said yesterday, maybe you want to have steel because that would be for the defense of the country. Maybe you want to have food, although we have an abundance of food. We export a lot. We throw away a lot. I mean, there's certain things. We could have that discussion. No problem. But that discussion is not taking place. What's taking place are barriers, impediments to trade because of a belief that we lack the money. We lack the accounting units. I mean, think about it for a second, folks. How do you lack accounting units? Let's say you're watching a ball game. You're in the stadium and the score is whatever. And then the announcer comes on and says, we can't continue the game because we can't put up any more points on the scoreboard, where there's just an electronic keyboard to enter the points. But he said, we can't put up the points anymore. We got to go find some points somewhere to put up. I mean, it's insanity. Now, all this stems from a perverse and totally flawed understanding, a poisonous, a dangerous understanding of monetarism. Monetarism, which got started in the 1970s thanks to, Milton Friedman, jerk. Monetarism has infected the entire world, okay? It has infected policy. It has infected economies. It has infected societies. It has infected the way people think about their government, okay? About everything, about their institutions, about everything. And it is a poisonous and dangerous system which is not even understood. Maybe if it was understood correctly, like I when I talk to you guys, things, for example, like interest rate changes, okay? Or Fed balance sheet adjustments. I tell you what that means, and I say, just calm down. Everybody's hysterical because they're changing the rate. This is what it means. Or everybody's hysterical because the Fed is, jiggering with its balance sheet. This is what it means. I tell you, I just say, look, it's nothing to get worried about. It equates either to a price adjustment and a fiscal operation, if you understand that. But like, it has been taken to a level. First of all, the understanding of it is so wrong. And again, we get back to this thing that I've been saying, like a bad belief system is like a disease in the body. It's going to kill the body, and we're killing the body right now. We're killing the body right now. Now, maybe this stuff is going to work out. Okay, maybe it's going to work out. I don't know. It remains to be seen. But when I see a policy which, rather than encouraging abundance, which again is the true definition of wealth of a nation, when we have stuff, infrastructure, healthcare, food, housing, education, you name it, fresh water, sanitary systems, all that stuff. When we have that stuff, we live at a high level as human beings. A peaceful society, lack of crime, things like that. Those are real things. Those are not money things. Money, again, is just an accounting entry. And I'll repeat, if we were on a different system, let's say a gold standard, or let's say our nation had debts denominated in foreign currency and we had to do this because there was no, that's a different story. We're not in that paradigm. We're not in that situation. Okay? But to build walls to prohibit abundance or take it away and somehow kind of, frame that as being positive because we're going to get the money transaction. I mean, nothing could be more poisonous and dangerous than this. Nothing. You cannot eat the money transaction. You cannot live in the money transaction. You cannot drive your car on the money transaction. You cannot do anything. You cannot breathe. You cannot take a shit on the money transaction. I mean, this is what it has come down to. Now, I saw this thing going in this direction for a long time. And I've been saying, I keep repeating, a bad belief system is like a disease in the body. If you don't eradicate the disease, you're going to kill the body. And this is only one part of it, okay? You got people like this kid who posted the video, and this is prevalent. The vast majority, I would say, I'll call it 100% of Americans, if you walk around the streets and you ask people, is the debt a danger to our country? Every single one, except maybe some of you who've been following me, every single one will tell you, yeah, they don't understand that the debt is our asset. We own that 36 or 38 trillion, whatever it is. That's our asset, okay? It may be not equally distributed, but, that's the way things go. But that is our asset. The only way to get rid of that is to take away that 38 trillion, okay? And that's a money aspect too, but I mean that we have that as global savings. People get older, they retire, they need to live off of something that allows them to acquire the real assets they need to live and function in life. But that's where we're going with that too. Okay? We're going down that road too. So this is step number one with the tariffs. Erecting walls around this country to limit abundance, which is the definition of our standard of living. Abundance is the definition of wealth. Having things, good things. That's what we need to live as humans. Food, water, clean environment, all the things I mentioned. Healthcare, education, all that stuff. Infrastructure. build walls because we need the money transaction. I mean, no, what do you call it? No philosophy, no school of thought has been more deadly and dangerous than this monetarism. And how this thing has become so embedded and so ingrained into our society, into every aspect of our society, our institutions, our belief systems, our policy, our politics. How did this happen? How did this happen? And it's amazing to me, I don't know. When Stephanie Kelton came out with that book, she wrote that book, what was it called? I forget what it was called. And then she there was a flurry of interview, and she does a very good interview. And I thought, well, maybe finally MMT will come into the mainstream and will be embraced some more. And some of these really dangerous and poisonous ideas related to monetarism and how it has infected our policy, maybe that'll go away. And I mean, it just died out. It just fizzled away. And I think now this kind of perverse, bad belief system has intensified to the point that we're seeing this stuff happen right now. I mean, it's really, really unbelievable. And it's so entrenched. Like, I'm thinking, like, will this ever be, like, taken out of our belief system? Will this ever be eradicated? Will there ever be something that will wake people up and make them understand that this is just like, you're on the road to self-destruction? I mean, this is serious. This is a serious, dangerous pathology. And it's playing out right now. It's playing out right now. I mean, it's sad when I see the President of the United States, and this is why I always used to say, like, it's very bad to have a businessman, running the country, because automatically their thought process is about the money aspect. That applies to a business, because a business is not a currency issuer. A business is a currency user. They have to get money. Businesses have to profit. That's the capitalistic system. Government is the opposite of that. Okay? And it's frustrating and it's disappointing, and it's, I mean, when I hear him say they're ripping us off for $500 billion, those are accounting units. We get the stuff. Now it's like the way we're going to get back is to limit the availability of that to ourselves. I mean, talk about, what's that say, cut off your nose to spite your face. I mean, nothing could be more aligned with that saying than this. So it's frustrating, man. But as somebody who understands the economics of it, I navigate it. That's all I can do. That's all you can do. We don't control policy. We don't even have the ability, I shouldn't say that. I mean, people do learn. I learned, 25 years ago, I was not of this mindset, I was not of this understanding. I fell into MMT. I met Warren Mosler. Like, it changed me. Many of you who have come to me, to my channel, you've also, the light bulb went off and now you get it. So I can't say we're never going to learn. I mean, some of us do, but it's a very, 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 very tiny minority. And it's just sad what's going on, man. It's just sad. And it's dangerous and it's poisonous and it's not good. But I give them the benefit of the doubt. Let's hope this thing works. I mean, I don't know at this point. And like I said, this is only, one problem among several. The other thing is the debt phobia, which is so infected into everybody's head. Like I said, you can walk around the street and ask anybody. They're going to tell you, yeah, it's going to be the end of the United States because it is debt. They don't understand it. They're going to, if you're in New York, you're going to see the electronic board on in Union Square, 36 trillion. You owe. No, that should be you own whatever it is, 80,000 or whatever the supposedly saying your portion of that is. It's wrong. Take down the E on O and put an N on and make it own. That's what you own, not what you owe. It's so backward, man. We're killing ourselves here. We are killing ourselves here. We're killing the goose that laid the golden egg. I'm sorry, but that's what it is. Anyway, it was kind of a long video. Please like and subscribe. Send it around. All right. It's not going to change much. But anyway, thanks for listening. And don't forget, go to my website, pitbulleconomics.com. Sign up for a 30-day free trial to MMT Trader. Bye.